Hey Tengage, it's Mike, Boom, however you know me. So I thought I'd make a little vlog for everyone. I feel like it's been a while since I made one, even though it really hasn't been. It always just feels long for me. So for all my friends out there that know me well, they know something that I love to do is I love to cook, right? I know how to make a lot of different styles of cuisine, so I thought maybe I would show you a way to make something that everyone's had, so something crazy out there, but it's definitely a different twist on it, or at least a different twist than most of you know. I'm going to be making French-style scrambled eggs for everyone this morning. So let's all head over here. What you're going to need for this meal is you're going to need your eggs. You're going to need your butter, because it's French food, and French is, on the decadent side of cuisines. You're going to need a sauce pot. You don't use a frying pan for French-style scrambled eggs. Use a sauce pot. As well as 2 bowls. And why you need 2 bowls is the beginning part of French-style scrambled eggs is that you have to separate the whites and the yolks. So it's just easiest if you take your 2 bowls. I've done one already. So I'll show you how to separate egg yolks and whites using just the actual egg in the shell. So you crack it. I like to crack eggs on a flat surface because I feel like if you crack them on an edge surface, if you do end up getting any shards of eggs or of eggshell, they'll be a lot smaller if you use a rounded surface or like a sharp surface, as opposed to if you use a flat surface, they'll be a lot larger and you'll be able to get them out. Just in case, if you do get them in there, that's fine. The best way to do it is try your best to crack the egg shell in half over the part that is white, or your egg whites, not your egg yolks. Alright, excellent. And if you just pass your egg yolk in between each egg shell, then you'll be able to get your egg whites out, and you'll be left just with your egg yolk. Done. I'm a hungry boy in the morning, so I make 3 eggs. You could do it with 2, you could do it with 1, however many you want. I find that when you use a frying pan, the pan actually ends up, because you're frying it, the eggs actually get larger. I find that French-style scrambled eggs, the volume is less, but the taste is a lot more dense and delicious. So that's why I think 3 is good for me today. Oh. Yeah, and there's always that membrane that's hard to get out. Sometimes I just sort of use the actual eggshell to saw it off. Alright. Perfect. And always wash your hands after, because eggs are nasty like that. The reason why that people, that's the reason why it's a French-style scrambled eggs, and they do make it separating the whites and the yolks, is because if you've ever had scrambled eggs where it almost feels a bit rubbery, it's because you've overcooked the yolks. So basically all you do is you take your saucepan. I've melted a little bit of butter in there, not a lot. I've tried to grease up as much as I can, like the sides and the bottom. Just gonna get a little hot. And also, for flavoring, I have my salt and pepper. Just sort of put them together. Not a whole lot, because I'm not a big salt person. But obviously you do it to taste how you like. I'm going to add the whites in first. You're going to want to have your pot at a medium heat. So I know that for my stove it's a 5. Because usually they're like from a 1 to a 9. And you just sort of lightly stir it with your, I use a wooden spoon. You don't want to actually stir it too hard, vigorously, because you'll end up making it really fluffy, and you'll end up just sort of beating the whites, and that's not really what you'd like to do. So you're supposed to add the yolks in when, quote-unquote, the egg whites in the actual pot look like a stormy weather. So just a little cooked, almost like half cooked if you may. So right now, all I have in there. So it's going to take a little bit of time, because I feel like the higher heat you have and for eggs. It's sort of like the less care you're giving them. Eggs is not something that you have to cook at a certain temperature. You can cook it at any temperature you want. The end result will be the same. Personally, when it comes to the salt and pepper, I like to add it in right before I add the yolks in. Oh, this is taking longer than I thought. For me personally, I like my eggs with mushrooms and shallots. I know everyone's not a fan of mushrooms, something that I found out on 10 Gauge. I think they're delicious. Like, I eat mushrooms every day, like with everything. They're really healthy for you. So I did that up first. I find when you're making French-style scrambled eggs, it's all about the flavor of the actual eggs. So I personally sauteed my mushrooms and my shallots first and put them aside, and I'll be serving my scrambled eggs on top of them. So now we're getting there a bit better. Let me just stir this up and I'll give you a little show. So hopefully you can see it's more of like a, sort of like stormy weather. Sort of awkward with my camera being on my phone, or on my computer. So we're just about there. This is when I would add my salt and pepper. Again, I use a lot less than most people. Depends how you like it. And now it's time to add your yolks. 1, 2, 3. Sort of break them up, mix them around in. I usually wait another, not even a minute, because since it's French food, and French food is all about being decadent, gotta have more butter in it. Right, Austin? More butter? Butter for the deliciousness? But just a little bit. I just have like 2 shavings of butter to add in. So, I mean, I don't know if you see it, like really thin, small little pieces of butter. It adds a nice glossy finish to the eggs, as well as gives it a lot more fatty, delicious goodness. Unfortunately, this will actually make your pot really sticky, even though if you put extra butter at the bottom. There's just no way to avoid it. It will be something to clean up, but I find if you just sort of let it sit in water for 5 minutes, then it just comes off really easily. But once you add the yolks in, you really do have to continuously mix it, because you don't want it to burn on the bottom. Not that you have to mix it hard, but you just have to sort of make sure you get everywhere. To give you guys a little look at what it looks like now. As you can see, even around the spoon, it's already forming into eggs. Oh, I'm not even on the thing. There we go. First, let's forming really quickly. Right, delicious goodness. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Yeah, I mean, I found out how to make it this way years ago. And it's something I don't do all the time because, I mean, when you make scrambled eggs, you're like, I want something fast, I want it now, you know what I mean? Like, it's not something that you feel like you have to sort of put any time or effort into, but again, I love to cook. It's definitely something that I spend way too much time doing. But hey, all the better to get a man with, right? Here we have my plate. I have my sauteed mushrooms and shallots there. And these eggs are already done. They don't take a long time to do. And like I said, I'm just going to put it on top of my mushrooms and shallots. And see, like, 3 eggs usually looks bigger than this to me. I find that this style of cooking it doesn't make it smaller, but the other style does make it expand more. And for me, I like to add just a pinch of salt on the top, because I do like the actual texture of salt. And we're done. You know, with some delicious toast, delicious eggs, and delicious breakfast. Alright guys, I'll see you later. Boom out.